How are you doing? I'm Russell from Porky's Corner. I'm just going to go through all these questions. I'm full of flu today, so I'm not. I don't want to do too much. Look at all this lot. This is what I get in DMs. But I have to sort the genuine ones out from the crazy ones. But right. StubHub. I'm going to address the StubHub situation because I think it needs talking about, and it's just getting crazy, isn't it now, StubHub? Do you know what I mean? People need to know where we stand with it. StubHub is a company that were created in 2000 by some Stanford University graduates, and they sold it to eBay. Now eBay is it's in a tax exile place. You know, nobody's allowed to look at your books in Switzerland, are they? Same as in Jersey or Cayman Islands. So it's ideal for people who don't want you to look into things. For example, Frank Warren's asking Matchroom to open up their books, isn't he? Because if you go into a company's house, you can't find out anything about Matchroom's books as regards StubHub, not even about the sponsorship. But other people who are sponsoring them, JD Sports and Bet whatever, is it Bet365 or something, you'll see things about that, but you won't see anything about StubHub. So it's a bit of a grey area, a bit shady. I don't agree with StubHub. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I think that sometimes you're getting tickets, hot tickets, £100 tickets fetching £1,000. Now, some of the prices here, an £80 ticket fetched £959.60. Now that's all but 40 pence, that's 12 times the value, isn't it? 12 8s are 96, so 960 quid, all but 40p. So I don't agree with StubHub. I know I sound like a broken record going on about it, but I'm in boxing to make a difference. I don't get paid in boxing. People think, oh, you're working with Dennis Hobson, you must be getting a fortune, he's loaded. I don't get anything off Dennis, to be honest. Yeah, I get to drive around in really expensive cars, and I get to flown out to Jersey or go out on boat, that's all paid for. Free tables at boxing, yeah. Restaurants, yeah. But I don't get a wage in boxing. I don't get a wage in boxing, and we have an handshake, me and Dennis. We're trying to create something in boxing, and we're getting there. You know, 32 months ago, Spike TV were pulling out. That's when I first got in with Dennis. A show later, they did pull out, you know, a few months down the line. So for 2.5 years, there wasn't no TV. Now we've got TV, we've got a Commonwealth champion. We're going to have an English champion, because we've got an in-house fight in February 2nd. So we're going to have an English champion and a Commonwealth champion and a TV deal. So we're in a stronger position than when I first got here. So I'm happy with my contribution. Plus, everybody knows that Dennis and Steffi Bull fell out. So I got them talking again. Steffi is one of my neighbours, same as Dave Allen is. I got them talking again, and because they fell out actually over Dave Allen when Dave left. So we're working with Steffi, and we're stronger with Steffi. Steffi's got no TV, and we haven't got many fighters. But people are picking up the phone now and wanting to work with us and sign with us. So it's all good, isn't it? We're helping Steffi. You might not want to admit that, but we're all men at the table, aren't we? We know that, you know, Steffi's getting to get his lads on TV, and he's not having to put a show on at Dome and fork out. So he's happy, we're happy. Free Sports are over the moon. So my little tiny contribution is alright, isn't it? I think. I don't profess to know everything about boxing. The last couple of weeks you might have noticed that I've not been on Twitter because some people were saying that you're too outspoken or you're critical. I'm not critical, I'm a realist. I'm not the type of person that's going to come up to me and shake your hand and then say something behind your back. If I've got something to say, I'm going to say it. Now, a couple of people fell out with me because I said that so and so would beat so and so, and they didn't like it. Well, TV guys say it all the time, don't they? I think so and so is going to beat so and so. So what? It's an opinion, isn't it? It's just an opinion. As long as you don't do it with malice, it's no problem. I have said some outlandish things on Twitter, and I apologise for that, but I don't mean anybody any harm. I've got no bad in my heart. So, but as regards StubHub, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with people making thousands and thousands of pounds. For example, if Wembley Stadium pulls in 7 million gate, with a StubHub gate or an extra 53,000 tickets to StubHub, it pulls in the region of £51 million, doesn't it? If some of these figures are right that I'm seeing on internet. So StubHub is massive business. Now, we're not just seeing it at one show though, are we? We're seeing it at Froch Groves, 45,000 tickets. We've seen it at Klitschko Joshua, 53,000 tickets. I don't know how many tickets were for the Takam Joshua fight. That were all a bit under wraps. Eddie wasn't as transparent as the other shows. I know that 13,000 tickets for the Cali Sowland show, Eubank Groves, out of the 20,000 at Manchester, they've gone on StubHub. I know that 12,500 of the Kesler tickets, Froch Groves, Kesler Froch, nearly 4.5 years ago. I know 12,500 went on StubHub. StubHub is massive business, but it's become a pain in the arse for everybody. Even artists, you know, singers, Adele and Ollie Murs and Bruno Mars, people like that. They've all, Ed Sheeran, they've all had enough of StubHub. People don't really want to talk about it in the business, do they? Because it's just taking mickey out fans, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Personally, I don't agree with it. But anyway, let's draw a line under it now, because these are some of the things that people wanted me to talk about. I have to have a stopwatch here, because every 12 minutes I've got to press reset on the thing, because I don't really know how to work my camera that well, to be honest. I'm new to all this. I'm not doing it to try and be Coogan Cassius, because I don't need the views. He needs them for his job. I don't, I'm a motor trader, but I'm just doing it because we had Ingram Jones doing it, and we had to pay him, fly him over, plus he brings his missus, feed him and water him, drive him about. It's an expensive do, and he's really good at his job, Ingram, but Dennis just asked me if I'd go out and get a camera. So I went out and bought one out of my own pocket. So we're just, like I said, we're trying to create something, and every bit of money that we can save on certain things goes back into boxing. And when you build something and you get it to the end product, then you can then you'll get something out of it, won't we? Who knows, we might even put bigger shows on as Eddie Earn. You never know, do you? But you've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? So that's StubHub gone. Liam Cameron, he's our Commonwealth champion. He's going to be fighting on February 2nd. There's some dark areas who Liam's going to fight now. Elliot Matthews. People are saying it's going to be Elliot Matthews. I'm not so sure. So we're going to see what happens now. But Josh Wales is going to headline the show against Bobby Jenkinson at the British title fight. Liam will be on the show. Whether he defends his Commonwealth title or not, I don't know. And the English title is Brad Watson and Lou Nasser, they're our fighters. So there's 3 title fights on, out of the 10 fights, and there's 7 other good fights on, and we're going to work hard to match them other 7. Now, which brings me to the other guys on the show. Anthony Tomlinson, he's 4-0, he's red hot at the moment. He's one of the best kept secret in South Yorkshire in boxing. He's a Sheffield kid. He looks the part, he says all the right things, and he's an hard trainer, and he's got a bit of a story. And if you just follow Anthony the Truth 08 on Twitter, follow his story, he's going to be one of the future stars of boxing. Andy Townend's going to be on the show, Danny Toombs, Muma Moeba, and probably another one at Nasser's, Hakeem or Ramsey's going to be on. It's going to be a good show, honestly, but there'll be 10 fights, there won't be more than 10. So, which brings me to the weekend's action. The previous weekend's action. James DeGale. James DeGale shouldn't have come back, should he really? When you've got an injury like that, you need to rest it. A lot of people in boxing though, they try to get a payday in at Christmas and they try to get one in summer before we break up in July, August, and I don't agree with that. If you're not 100%, you shouldn't go into the ring. You should not go into the ring unless you're firing on all cylinders. But James DeGale, I think he's getting hit too much for that kind of style. And a bit like Joe Calzaghe, end of his career, he got dropped in his last 2 fights, didn't he? Now the writing was on the wall for him then. A bit like Carl Froch getting dropped by George Groves. Once you're getting dropped heavily, no head movement, things are starting to catch up with you. And I think that James DeGale is now a spent force. He's a shadow of his former self. He's been a great fighter, but when you look at his record for an Olympic gold medalist, and you want the favourite to get that, who has James DeGale beat? A lot of people were saying he was number 1 in division. Who has he beat? How many world champions or former world champions, current world champions has James DeGale beat? He's not beat a current world champion because he drew against Badou Jack. He's beat a former champion in Lucien Boutte, but Carl Froch wrote him off, didn't he? So who has he beat? Andre Dirrell? You could say an interim champion IBF or champion, I don't know. He beat Dirrell, that's a good win. But there isn't really anybody on his record, is there? Porky Medina gave him nightmares. There were life and death with Badou Jack, and he's just been beat by Calab Truex, so I don't think he's any great shakes, is he? Right, where were we now? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, we did the James DeGale one, didn't we? Which brings me to the Conor Benn fight. After that was a Wednesday night fight, wasn't it? Conor Benn. Well, if his dad wasn't Nigel Benn, 2-time world champion, would he be getting the chances that he gets at Sky? I don't think so. Does he like a tear up? Yeah. Has he got skills? A few, but he's not the finished article. He's 21 years old. So I think he needs to go back and start again as if he's a 0-0 fighter, as if he's having his debut, and he needs to look at these 11 fights he's had as his amateur experience and start again. And he could do it going on some shows where there's not a lot of pressure on him. He looked like he had a lot of pressure on him. He's a young kid, isn't he? And I think that he'd probably do a lot better going away from the limelight. A bit like when David Beckham went to Preston on loan. They all made a lot of noise about David Beckham, and Fergie nipped it in bud straight away. Loaned him out to Preston. What for it? Were it 9 games or something? He scored a goal, didn't he? 1 goal with it from a corner. Forget now, but he didn't have that many games, but he went to Preston, came back a better player. I think Conor Benn could go on other shows, you know, like Mo Pryor. He could go on his shows, Mickey Elliott, Steve Goodwin. He could go on other promoters' shows. Alfie Warren, he's an up and coming promoter, isn't he? Him and Francis, don't they do shows in Southampton, Portsmouth, down south? Could he go on their shows and learn a bit of his trade? Or will politics get in the way? Could he be a good talent? Maybe he is a talent. He's got that heart, like his dad had a lot of heart. Until he went too far in his career. Will Conor Benn take a lot of shots? Yeah, maybe. Nigel Benn retired at 31, didn't he? Nigel Benn. His career was 9 years. Now, a style that takes shots like that, that's not good. Did you see Conor Benn's face the day after? No, Nigel Benn retired at 31 after 9 years. Is Conor Benn going to be finished at 28, 29? I don't know. But Bernard Hopkins fought while he was 50, didn't he? Now 50, 51. He's got a style that you don't get hit. The secret is hit and don't get hit. Sweet science. Be like Billy Joe Saunders, Tyson Fury. They don't get hit, do they? So remains to be seen. So I think there's still a question mark against Conor Benn. I think he has to go back to the beginning and start again. But that's just my humble opinion, he's not one of our Dennis's fighters, so I can't really. Eddie knows what he's doing, and he will know what I'm saying is right, but everybody's bought into it, haven't they? This Conor Benn hype, next generation, and I don't know. Who has Eddie got though, really, now? After Conor Benn, who's he got? Crawler, Burns, they're coming to end, aren't they? Bellew's coming to end, but we'll get to that later. Brings me to Billy Joe Saunders at the weekend. Masterclass. The Billy Joe Saunders masterclass. If that would have been Andre Ward or Bernard Hopkins, the Americans would be raving about it. But it's Billy Joe Saunders, a gypsy kid from down south Hatfield. Hardly gets a mention, does it? Outside of boxing circles. But I know from people I've spoke to over the weekend, people in Canada who we know, and people at HBO, Showtime who know Dennis, and people at Ring Magazine who know Dennis, and one particular person who I know at Ring Magazine, and they said, wow, Billy Joe Saunders, wow. But how can it be his coming out fight, which they're all saying? He's been doing it for years. Now, Billy Joe Saunders, was he 26 and 0? He's not been beat. He's not been beat. Last time he got beat was in Olympics. He doesn't get beat, the kid. He finds a way. Now, not many people know this. I don't know if I've mentioned this before on podcasts. When Jamie McDonnell came to Dennis, he was 8-2-1, coming off 2 losses and a draw, back to back I think the losses were. Dennis took him with Terry Edwards and them to Olympics in Beijing 2008. Spent some time with Jamie, but he went out there, Dennis, with Richard Poxon to look at all the fighters, where, you know, Joe Murray, James DeGale, David Price, Tony Jeffries, Darren Sutherland, Frankie Gavin. One of your fighters go out there, and Dennis went out there with Jamie McDonnell to show Jamie, you know, how to diet, how to train, you know, so many sessions a day, how to be around, you know, elite fighters. I mean, these are all your top cream of the cream. I know everybody's got a different story how it's worked out. When you look back at that 2008 Olympic team, you could say they could have all done better. DeGale's only beat one world champion, has he really? He beat Boutte Durrell. David Price, we know his story, don't we? Frankie Gavin, well, Dennis has just got Frankie Gavin an IBO title fight. Frankie's going to promote it with his sponsors, and it's going to go on Free Sports, so, from what I've heard. So, but Frankie Gavin should have been a WBC world champion, you know, 2-3 years ago, for my liking. It's not worked out for him. He says he's a welterweight. He's multi-skilled. He's a lightweight, really, a light welter. He's not a welter. He says he is, so I think he's a waste of talent. He's probably going to go down as the biggest waste of talent this country's ever had. He's the only gold medalist from World Amateurs, you know, and that's the same format, isn't it, as the Olympics, from what I've heard. So, Darren Sutherland, bless him. Rest in peace, Darren Sutherland. We know what happened to Darren, bless him. Joe Murray, he got a bronze at World Championships. I don't know where Joe Murray goes from now, to be honest. I think he, mega talented kid, badly matched, multi-talented, multi-skilled. John Murray's little brother. DeGale, he overachieved as an amateur, DeGale. I think it maybe went to his head a little bit, because he's not really tore it up in pros, has he? Groves beat him, Jack beat him up, but they gave it a draw. Who else is there? Well, they had to give it a draw, didn't they, against Bado Jack? Is he an Al Heyman fighter? I'm not sure. Who else is there? Porky Medina terrorised him, then he beat him. He's just been beaten against Calab Truex. That style, James DeGale's style, once your reflexes have gone, it's over, that style. So 2008, Tony Jeffries got an hand injury. you know, Billy Joe Saunders, he's come out of it from the 2008 class of 2008 Olympians. He's the standout guy in Billy Joe Saunders. Tyson Fury should have gone to the Olympics. He didn't go, and he would have been probably the other standout guy. Two travelling kids, the top guys from their era in heavyweight and middleweight. Because I don't see Billy Joe Saunders getting beat. I really rate him that much. Multi-talented. He don't get clipped. The better the opponent, the better he ups his game. I think that Dennis Hobson's right when he tried to sign them. Every one of the Olympic team, Dennis Hobson, who I work for, he bought them all a Tag Heuer watch. Every single one of them gave him a Tag Heuer watch. He wanted to sign all of them, but really he wanted Billy Joe and Frankie Gavin, and he didn't get either. It was a shame, innit? Frank Warren had the money then and the backing, so he put together a great package. And Dennis couldn't compete with what Frank offered, but it didn't work out for Frankie Gavin. With Frank, Billy Joe Saunders, he stuck by Frank Warren through thick and thin. So you've got to give Billy Joe Saunders credit for being loyal. He's done it his way. He's a millionaire. He's 26-0, British Commonwealth European World Champion, went to the Olympics. He's unbeaten. He just took out the main guy outside of, you know, the big three: Golovkin, Canelo and Jacobs. The main guy outside of them top three was David Lemieux. Billy just took him to school and put his son in the mix to be in a 4-pack. We had Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, Duran. We've now got Golovkin, Canelo, Jacobs and Billy Joe Saunders. Them 4 guys must fight each other. Politics can't get in the way now. Eddie Hearn has got to step up to the plate. He's got to put Daniel Jacobs in there with Billy Joe Saunders. Because it looks like the Canelo and Golovkin are not going to gun here Saunders and Jacobs. No way are they going to go, not after that performance. Billy Joe Saunders has put his son in a right tight spot. In my opinion, he's put his son in a tight spot. He beats all of them. Golovkin's got a draw on his record. Canelo's got a couple of draws, hasn't he? And a loss. Jacobs has got a couple of losses on his record. Billy Joe's only one with a clean record out of them. He doesn't know how to lose. And like I've just said to you, he beats all them. He's got skills to burn. Yeah, you could say it depends what Billy Joe Saunders turns up on the night, but I can explain it. If he's in the right frame of mind, he'll beat any of them. Now, which brings me to Dominic Ingle, number 6. Dominic Ingle, I give Dominic Ingle some stick. I give Dominic Ingle stick because he put Kell Brook, a South Yorkshire lad, in with Golovkin. I spoke to my little boy and my little girl's mum, and I said, "What do you think?" She said, "Well, she don't know boxing." She said, "Well, shouldn't he like put that Kell in with 2 weight divisions up? Wouldn't it be better if that Kell practiced at that weight?" I says, "Practiced?" She said, "Yeah, because into a new weight, wouldn't it be better if he practiced?" And I said, "Yeah, you're probably right. Kell Brook should have gone through weight, shouldn't he? Should have gone at 154, then 160. You mind Eddie Hearn running around saying he's a beast, he's a beast. He's a beast at 160. Well, he ain't a beast at 160, is he? Because he got clipped and they had to throw a towel in and protect him. Now, that to me takes Mickey out at fans. So I don't agree with that. Then I'm not going to sit here and not have an opinion on it, because I know what went down. That fight was all about money, whether it were money on the Brooks, Team Brook, and all the people in Kell Brook's ear, his stepdad or his trainer or Eddie Hearn, or whether it were legacy. Now, did anybody in world boxing actually think he were going to beat Gennady Golovkin? said he were a warrior and a beast. The fruit toweling, so he can't be a warrior and a beast. The only person who was saying he were going to win was Johnny Nelson. But then again, Johnny Nelson said he could see how Conor McGregor meets Mayweather. He's biggest company man in boxing, Johnny Nelson, anyway, we all know that. But getting back to Kell Brook, I had him down as #1 welterweight. Now, Kell Brook going into that fight with Errol Spence, forget the Golovkin fight, Kell Brook beats Errol Spence. As soon as he started getting hit, it all came rushing back to him about the Golovkin fight. And I think that's a shame, really, crying shame. Will we see the best of Kell Brook ever again? No, I don't think we will. I think we've seen best of Kell Brook. He'll go down as could have been another Ray Leonard. He is that good, but I think he's missed the boat now. I think it's just a case of him over and up what pound notes he can get now, and he might even get caught out one way. If he can get the Khan fight and get one more big payday, I'll be happy for him, and if he can get in and out of boxing. But I think it's a shame that it's turned out. But getting back to Dominic Ingle, he's going to be my vote for Trainer of the Year next year. He's not going to get it this year because of Kell Brook's defeat. And people are going to say, well, he took Billy Joe on, he's already a world champion. You could make a case for who has Dominic Ingle had from the beginning, from turning pro. Because I can't remember if Witter turned pro with him from the beginning. I'm not sure if he were with Brendan. I'm not sure, but what Dominic Ingle has done with Billy Joe Saunders is nothing short of fantastic. How he's got him into shape, and he's gone over there in another man's backyard. Obviously they were getting paid for it though. He's gone over there and he's took that kid to school. So Dominic Ingle, well done. You've gone up in my eyes. If Joe Gallagher can win Trainer of the Year for 2015, I'm sure you can win it next year for 2018. So